Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. Welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Kira. This is Kai. I'm actually in the process of setting up a Sims 4 game. I'm doing a ton of games for Sims 4, like I'm actually saving games and I'm rebuilding neighborhoods and doing a whole neighborhood because I thought how much fun it would be to do a playthrough of a video game that I personally love and enjoy on my channel, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to show you guys the kind of game the way I play it. So, the way it will start out is actually I'm planning to, what buddy? Have it, be my family generations from my actual personal games. I just kind of started with the third generation and rebuilt up around it, and I thought that would be fun. But anyways, that's not what this is about. This is a makeup video. And we are going to be ranking my 5-pan palettes. So let's get into it. I have a lot of 5-pan palettes. So first one, I'm going to be putting in my number bottom spot. Hang on. I have, I think 23, maybe 24. I think I counted wrong. I did count wrong. It's 24. So the 24th palette spot in number 24. Number 24, my least liked palette is the Wet n Wild Color Icon and Petal. I used this yesterday, and it just was not anything about what I expected. I don't ever really reach for this, if I'm being completely honest. And I love 5-pans. I do. It's just like, it didn't really work out, and you can actually see in the swatches, I believe. Yeah. You can kind of just see, like, it's just it was very lackluster. I mean, like, you can't even see the match brown shade on my hand at all. Like, there's a shade there. You can't see it. It's just all around, like, it's kind of swatching okay, but it just did not look good on my eyes, and I'm not a fan of that, like this, honestly. Number 23 is another Wet Wild Color Icon palette, and it is in the shade My Lucky Charm. I just think that this is trying to be Natasha Denona mini Metropolis, and there's literally nothing in this palette. I don't like these color icon palettes. I think you are going to be able to tell in this. It's because there's like one matte in most of these, and the rest are all shimmers, and it's like, why not just make it an all fucking shimmer palette at that point? That green, though, is very, very unique and very stunning. But I think you can definitely see, especially with those last 3 shades, the mini Metropolis vibes that it's giving off. It's just not a palette I reach for every day. I did take out the factor of money, and I just am going off of color story and quality of these products. So number 22 is going to be my Colourpop Make It Fearless palette. So this is actually great quality, it's just the color story is not really what I like. I want you guys to know that the color story is 100% why this is ranking so low for me, not the quality. The quality in these shades are gorgeous. It's really, really nice. It's just the color story itself. Okay, number 21, again, the quality is just fine on this. It's the color story. Is the Natasha Denona Mini Metropolis, or Mini Tropic palette. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else. I just don't wear colorful looks enough for this palette. I'll probably honestly end up decluttering it because it's a nice palette. And the colors are pretty. I don't wear these colors. I really want the Big Tropic palette so bad. I might get it this month. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of feeling it. Like I said, the colors in here are not that bad. I just don't reach for colorful looks like to have this palette enough, and I did get it on sale for like $20, so it was worth it, and still worth it. It's just I don't reach for these enough. Okay, my number 20 palette is the Catrice Modern Smoky Look 5 in a box. So these are great for the price, great quality, great color story. This is just not the kind of cool tones look I go for, which is why this is ranking so low for me, because I absolutely adore these 5 in a boxes, and I think that they are great alternatives if you cannot afford Natasha Denona. They're not going to blend themselves the way Natasha Denona shadows do, but they are definitely up there in par with definitely being versus Natasha Denona. They're not dupes per se color story wise. You're not going to find a 5 in a box that is going to match every single Natasha Denona palette, because 5 in a box is only coming 4. Natasha Denona has like 60 minis. So, maybe not 60, but she definitely has like 20 to 30. Number 19, I think. I lost track, is the Colourpop Too Hot palette. I love the packaging on this. The packaging on this is stunning, which is why I kept it. This is an all pink palette, and I just don't reach for pinks like this, honestly, anymore. So I don't really find this comparable to have in my collection because I don't have, like, reach for pinks like this. So my mom just walked in, and Kai was like, Mama. So this is the Too Hot palette swatch. Honestly, the quality, it's not swatching there. He just ate! Okay, number 18 is the Colourpop Amore palette. So I had this ranked lower than the other 5 pans that they released in this collection because this one's honestly just the one that I tend to gravitate towards the least, color story-wise. I'm just not reaching for purples like this. So I guess like that's why I just don't find myself attracted to this color story. I can see myself decluttering this one also after getting a little bit more use out of it, maybe. Maybe after my next declutter, I can see myself decluttering this because I just don't reach for purples like this, and I know somebody else will really enjoy this. Number 17 is the Natasha Denona Eyeshadow Palette 5. So I got this during the VIB sale because she is, I believe, discontinuing these. Because there used to be 4 colors, and now there's only this one for sale. So I'm pretty sure she's discontinuing these. This is not a declutter. I'm just ranking these palettes that I own. So I have not used this yet. I've only swatched it a few times. I am excited to use it for these 2 bottom shades. These 3 up here just kind of like are kind of but these 2 bottom shades look so stunning and gorgeous. I can totally see myself doing purple in the crease with a cut crease, kind of like that on the lid. Like, I'm excited. This makes me excited for makeup, and I honestly look at this and I'm like, I can see myself decluttering this in a few months. But it makes me excited because I look at these colors and this formula and I'm like, I can do so much with that. Number 16 is the Natasha Donona Mini Metropolis palette. This came in a Christmas kit this year, which is what I was talking about, the My Lucky Charm palette from Wet n Wild. Those 3 shades. Does that not look a lot like those Wet n Wild shades? It does to me, at least. But you're not getting Natasha Denona quality in those, for sure. I just don't reach for this color story that often, which is why it ranks so low. I had a bunch. I had to get up and check on Jackson. Kai wanted a drink, so let's get back to it. I lost my place. I'll check it after this. Right, the next palette is going to be the Wet n Wild Go Commando palettes. This is another one of those 5 pans. So there's 2 mattes in this. I actually pulled this out, and I'm using it tomorrow for tomorrow's Makeup and Mystery because I kind of coordinated the warm and golden looks for the Golden State Killer case. That is what I'm covering tomorrow. You can just kind of see how lackluster these are, and they don't really wear well on my eyes, so I can see these being decluttered in my next declutter. The formulation on these is just not good. Okay, number 14 is Sundays from Wet n Wild. So again, this is another one that it's got 2 mattes in it, thank God, but it's still just not the best. I mean, I'm comparing this to the old Wet n Wild formula that was amazing for the price, and this is just not, it's just not there, which you will definitely be able to see in that shade, that shade, that shade, and that shade. That shimmer's stunning, but all the other shades are just lackluster. Okay, number 12 is going to be Cherish from Colourpop. This one ranks a little bit higher up on my list because it is warm tones. It's just a little bit too warm tone for me, which is why it doesn't go up any higher. But I do still feel like this is nice warm tone neutral. It's just a little tiny bit dark, personally. So, yes, he just farted. Oh, I have a story to tell you. Hang on. So this is the swatches of that palette. You can see it's just a little dark. Okay, so number 12 is actually the palette I'm wearing on my eyes today, and I had to get up and change Kai because a mom's job never stops. And it's called this is Camouflage. Go Commando is the one I'm wearing tomorrow. Alright, so I do have all these shades on my eyes today in different ways. So, trying to... Alright, I'm gonna just put it here because So that's a nice, it's on my outer corner. This is on the inner corner of my lid right there. This is the glitter that I'm wearing on the center of my lid. This is the shimmer I placed underneath of it, and it just, you can't see it at all. And this is the transition shade I used in my crease. All in all, a really good palette, but it's just, not really good, it's a good palette. You get good and bad product with this, honestly, because I love the two shimmer shades here, the shimmer and the glitter. I don't like the shimmer shade. This is a little light, and this is a little dark. I feel like there's a shade, needs to be a shade in between it, which you can see there needs to be a shade in between it, but it works. Okay, so number 11 is going to be the Catrice 5 in a box and Warm Spice look. You can honestly tell that I really like these 5 in a boxes due to the fact that they rank so high, much higher on my list. I just don't reach for warm tones like this, to be honest. The color story with these, well, the color scheme with these 5 pans is very, very beginner friendly, because it comes with a base shade, a transition, a defining shade, a brow bone highlight, and a lid shade. And I love that for beginners. I think that it's really, really nice. The quality, again, is really, really nice. You do have to blend them out yourself. Like, they're not going to blend themselves. Like, you do have to work with them a little bit, but they're still really good product. Okay, number 10 is going to be the Crush palette from Colourpop. This is the more bronzy one. It's a little bit dark for me, which is why it's reaching, like, it's going so much, like, in the middle road. Because if this wasn't as, like, warm tony dark, it would definitely reach, go a little bit higher for me. Like, I could see myself using this palette a lot, because I love the formula of Colourpop. Like, those mattes go on for days. That shimmer will go on for days. By the way, I am literally glittery, dripping in diamonds, dripping in makeup. I love it. Okay, number 9 is the Catrice 5 in a box in Golden Nude look. This is the more newer one to my collection. I went and did a Catrice order a couple months ago, and this was sold out, and I went back when it was back in stock, and I ordered it again a few months later, and I ordered it a few months later. I didn't order it again. I ordered it a few months later, and I'm so happy I did, because I'm glad I have all of these. I really, really am, because I really like these, and I absolutely enjoy these just as much as I enjoy my Natasha Denona ones. And the color story is honestly perfect for every day. It really, really is. That shimmer shade is just a little bit dark for me to use. These two shades actually are a little bit dark for me to use every single day, but I still enjoy this palette. Okay, number 8 is the Catrice 5 in a box in Soft Rose look. So I got this when I was in my pink eyeshadow phase that I was just so absolutely in love with, and I really like this. I still do, even though I don't reach for it as much as I used to. It's my favorite 5 in a box out of all of them. Just color story wise, at least, which is why it's ranking the highest out of all 4. It's still so pretty, and I can see myself using this if I go back into those pink tones, and I know for a fact that out of all the 5 in a boxes, if I declutter the other ones, I would be happy just keeping this. Number 7 purely ranks up here for nostalgia purposes, and it is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Trio 5-pan in Walking on Eggshells. Have I been calling these trios this whole time? Whatever. But anyways, this is honestly, like, Walking on Eggshells is so iconic. The original 3 are these 2 shimmers and this shimmer right here. Then they made it into a quad that had those 4 colors, and now it's a 5-pan. So it ranks this high purely because of nostalgia purposes for me, because I actually love doing wedding looks with this. It's a nice palette itself. I just think that they changed the formulation on it, which you can kind of see with that shimmer there and this, like, transition shade. I think that they did change the formulation of these, and I wish that they hadn't. So those 5 pans from Wet n Wild, I actually think I used to rave about, but I've had them so much longer now, and I've used them so much that I know that I'm not going to be able to recommend those. So number 6 is the Natasha Denona Mini Lila palette. I don't think that this is Natasha Denona's best formula, but I do think it is still a better formula than what most drugstores are able to, like, most drugstore brands are able to come up with. And this palette has been tried to be duped. I mean, like, that purple is shit. But I didn't buy this palette for that purple. I bought it for the blue here, honestly, and the other shades. I mean, this is not going to be a palette that I'm only reaching in for just these colors. I'm obviously using another palette, so I don't mind that. Ranks high because I just love to use this shade here, and this is my personal ranking, and this is how much I love these palettes, and I just always love to use this color, and I don't actually have this color in another palette, so that's why I rank it where it's at. Ooh, top 5. So it's the Colourpop Lyric palette is my number 5 palette. This is honestly a very nice everyday neutral palette. It might be a little much for some people with this glitter. I definitely think that that is possible. But when you see it in the swatches, you'll like understand how you were able to use this palette every day. Just ignore the glitter. You know, like if you take out this glitter, like you have a very nice neutral palette. And I love it. I love it. It's a very good everyday palette for me personally. Right, number 4 is the Colourpop Ballad palette. I'm sure this was coming for you guys if you know anything about me and you know I'm in love with these cool tones. This is what I wanted the Naked 2 palette, the Naked 2 Basics palette to be. And it's just not. I hate that palette, honestly. I can see myself decluttering after my next declutter. I probably will, to be completely honest. This palette is just everything I want in a cool tone palette, and it's stunning, and I love it. I love it. I love it. But I like palettes a little bit more than that Ballad one, which is why it's only number 4. Number 3 is the Natasha Denona Mini Crush palette. So this came in a Valentine's Day kit. You can still get it, so it did come with a brush, and it's $25. It's a great value because you're paying for the palette and you're getting the brush for free. Alright, so I love this palette. I think it's really, really nice. I really, really do. I'm glad I have it in my collection because I do still see myself using it so much, and I love that daisy shade so much, honestly. It's so pretty. And when I reach for pink tones, I'm 9 times out of 10 reaching for this palette. I mean, like, it's just so pretty, and it's the Natasha Denona. Great formula. It blends so amazing, and I love it. I really, really do. That's a palette that I know I would want to buy again if it disappeared from my collection. So my number 2 palette is the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. Of course, I love this palette. I love the Big Love palette. I love this palette. It's so stunning. It's that amazing Natasha Denona formula. I got this when I was in love with pinks, and I am glad I have it because honestly, between this and the Mini Crush, I would be completely set. I mean, they are really good companion palettes in my opinion. I love them. Okay, so my number 1 palette is, I have to be honest with you guys. Yes, I am ranking this because I love the color story, and I do tend to use this more so in my off days than it is the perfect everyday palette, but also because it's so much more expensive than all these other palettes. And it is the Natasha Denona Camo palette. It's $48 now, but it used to be $50, and I did pay the $50 price for it. It's stunning. It is the perfect everyday palette for just really anybody that likes wearing neutrals every day. I mean, I would be tempted to get this for my sister if we were speaking, to be completely honest. I love this palette. I mean, the shimmers are nice and thick and buttery smooth, and I just love this palette, and I'm so glad I have it in my collection. Alright, so that is it for my 5-pan rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am going to be doing this with my 4 pans and my 3 pans, my quads and my trio, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will end it here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. All that social media great stuff really helps this channel out. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys!